My name is Roland Gonzalez. I'm a production manager here with Capizzi Home Improvement. My main role here is to ensure that my customers have just a smooth and enjoyable experience through these processes that can be pretty stressful at times. And we just want, I love to just know that my customers have a peace of mind when they're working with me. Right now, obviously, the climate of the last few years, things have changed quite a bit. And one of the challenges we're facing right now is just making sure we got good team players with us. Most of our guys have been with us for years and years, but, obviously we still have crews come and go. And so when we hire guys, we really need to ensure that those guys are Capizzi quality. Make sure that they are on board with what we're doing here as a company, that because not everybody fits in, obviously, with what we're trying to do, and we hire them just like anybody else, whether they're doing maintenance and labor, or if they're one of our lead foremen, project managers. It's like they have to understand that they're representing Capizzi, and that what they do reflects on everything that we represent as a company. So some people take that to heart and some guys don't, and that's what I'm there for. It's just like, hey, everyone's different. You have a whole different array of personalities and people, and I have to ensure that those people stay on the path, and that's what I don't know anybody out there who's ever experienced management. That's just most of the role is managing people, and you're there to kind of keep them in line per se, but on board is more how I see it. It's like, so I would explain to you first that it's like, what we as a company represent. Like, our whole approach to serving the customer is unique. Not saying that no one else is doing what we're doing, but there's probably not too many people doing what we do. And one of the biggest things is we guarantee our work. Right, we literally have a written warranty that we're telling our customers in their home when, Doug and Mike and Diana and Matt are going out there discussing in the home. They're saying, listen, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, after all this, we guarantee our work. We have a 5-year unconditional labor and installation warranty, a workmanship warranty, that if there's anything wrong with the job or needs attention, we're going to go and take care of you and make it right for 5 years, right? So there's no one else doing that. So people have to understand that that's, you're willing to work to those standards, and that's what we're telling you, and you're part of that team, right? You're going to be the guy taking care of the customer in the field, living up to those warranty standards. And does that sound like something you can live up to, or something you want to be a part of? We're known for a high standard of quality, of service. We have a third-party company who grades us on every customer. They get reached out to, and they get asked, how is everything going, including up to the carpenters in the field. How did your experience go with them? Did they keep the place clean and safe? Did they, were they respectful? All these things. So it's like, they understand our whole process. You're a part of this team, and you're going to help us deliver this. Is this something that you want to be a part of? It's like, is this something you can feel like you can live up to? It's like, yeah, sure. They have to realize that they're a part of something special. It's not just another job. We want you to be a part of our team for life. We want you to be part of the Capizzi team. We don't want to be having a call next year because, you were just here for a couple of jobs, and then all of a sudden it's not working out because you want to go make a couple more bucks. It's like, we want you to be happy, making good money, but also knowing you're a part of something special, and that you can take pride in what you do. It really is picking the right people. It comes down to that, because you can't train somebody to have a rapport with somebody. You can't really train somebody to care about other people and be kind and respectful and concerned, all that stuff. That's why, Jimmy is a great example, and we have, several other people like that too. But at the end of the day, a lot of guys are, hey, they're just trying to get a job done, get on to the next one. But one thing that I think helps them is that our process lends itself to allowing people to take responsibility, and that also gives them the freedom to do their job without feeling burdened to the point of, somebody's always looking over your shoulder or all, it's not like corporate or robotic. It's like we trust our guys in the field, and we trust you to take care of the customer and your people. They're your people. Like we that's part of their job. It's like you're taking care of this job, and not only the work, but you're taking care of the people, right? It's the service. Like whatever needs to happen to make them happy, that's what you want to do. Like, and if it means taking 5 minutes in the morning to talk about, whatever, and hey, customer wants to talk to you about their flowers and or whatever, or the kids, or say, hey, yeah, no problem, man. Just take care of the customer, and it's fine. At the end of the day, it's all about customer satisfaction. Sometimes you get people out there who are all business and just like, I don't want to see the workers. I don't want to talk to the workers. Like just get it done. That's fine. But sometimes people, they don't mind that, that back and forth and that interaction. And you want to have the right people in place to do that. So really, honestly, sometimes we literally do take that into concern. It's like, who's the customer? Who do we have? Who's going to be a good fit for personalities? Sometimes, not on every job, but on some jobs, like, yeah, I think this would be the right guy, So that is part of our process. Literally, we want to put the right people with the right jobs. Obviously, my role is to take care of any in-progress jobs first. So like anything we have in progress is my priority. So generally roll in. Sometimes my day starts at the office. Sometimes it starts on the road, on site, somewhere. It just depends on my day. So that's a priority. You're making sure that, hey, tasks from the day before have been completed. Normally I've already checked in with the people at the end of the day. So it's just kind of following up, seeing everything, getting eyes on work that was done, handling any kind of issues on site, and making sure the day is set according to whatever schedule and plan we have for that day. Sometimes I have several jobs going on. Sometimes I only have, one or two going on. So it just depends on how busy I get, but that's generally my focus, is always just dealing with the work at hand, making sure the job is moving along according to schedule and checking in with everybody. I'm really glad you brought that word up, empowerment. That's one of the main reasons why I'm still here at Capizzi, because I feel I'm an independent-minded kind of person, and I used to have my own small business before I started working for Capizzi as a carpenter on my own. And so I'm used to running my own show and doing my own thing. And I think Capizzi is a great blend of that approach, where Tom Capizzi, he recognizes people's abilities and puts them in the right places. He's really good at that, perfect like delegator, and let you roll. And the systems are in place to keep everybody in their lane. Again, when you've been at a place for so long, it becomes yours. I'm the kind of person who just takes pride in what I do. So that's the kind of people we want here, right? We want other people who do the same thing. So when you do that, you take responsibility for yourself, and you don't have to be watching over people so much, because you know everyone's on the same team. So I love that. I don't want to be, micromanaged. I don't think anybody really likes that kind of. I did work briefly for a company that was really opposite of how our approach is here, and it drove me away. So we have to do the same thing in the field, with the guys. Those guys know what they're doing. They have a role. They're carpenters. That's what they do. So a lot of times I'll lean on them. Say, that's why we have our pre-construction process. We come to the meeting right before the work is done, and I have already given them the paperwork. They've already gone over it. So sometimes we'll even have a little powwow before we show up and say, okay, here's how it's going to go. I have some concerns here. I have some questions here. I'm going to ask. We're going to look at this, and then we go in and we go over it. And I'll just point blank. So what do you think? Sometimes, like, how are you going to go about doing this? What do you think? What's your plan of attack on this? Because sometimes I'll have an idea, but I'm not the one who's going to be doing it. So, but sometimes there will be a case where I'm like, no, you're going to do it this way. I want it done this way. So it's just like, depends on who you're working with, depends on what the job is. But for the most part, we're leaning on these guys in the field. I mean, they are the guys on job, on site, in the field, doing the work, daily rapport with the customer. So it's important to give them that, you know, and then they take pride in it. It's like, yeah, that's their job. And then at the end of the year, we have this big powwow. We have our company meeting, and we get to show up, you know, their videos and photos of like a recap of the year of all the projects that were done, and we recognize those guys, and then we, you know, the whole process is built around that. You know, it's all worked in. Even monthly meetings we have, it's a similar thing. We have our total quality meetings where we discuss the projects in detail and talk about the good and the bad, get to talk about, you know, how it went. Yeah, I mean, suppliers are another pretty important part of the equation. Obviously, we're leaning on them to help us perform. So when we're scheduling things and we need things, we can be a little demanding sometimes. So it's really important to have those good relationships, you know. So the same thing applies to our guys in the field and our employees to our suppliers. Same deal. It's a rapport, it's a relationship. You want to be able to lean on that relationship sometimes, you know. You want that loyalty there for when you need it. It's like, listen, you know, something came up, you know, can you help me out? I need this delivered today, you know, like. And a lot of times, you know, those guys are really great. There's obviously there's quite a few lumber yards on the Cape, and we use them all. But there are definitely those relationships we have out there, our go-to guys that we call for certain things, and that's super important. Yeah, because you want them there. You don't want to be shuffled off into the pile. You want them to be like, oh, Capizzi, take care of it, you know, because they know we do several $100,000 a year in business with them, and it's like, yeah, probably want to take care of them, you know? And we try to be loyal to them too. So, you know, I'd rather use one of our local guys than maybe say one of the big box stores. So that's a personal approach, and sometimes the company will direct us and kind of advise us, like where you want to get certain things from. But as managers, we're able to kind of hire our own crews, run our own crews, and same thing with the suppliers. You know, so each of us have our own relationships with the different vendors and certain preferences.